if you're a roofing company looking to add solar, or maybe you're a roofing company already selling solar, a common question I get is, should I add a solar division? Emphatic answer, no. We do not want to add a solar division. I'm going to explain why in this video. What we want to do is we want to think that we are now roofing company with solar. Not roof and solar, roof with solar. It's extremely important that you understand the difference between the two and the benefits. All right, so number one benefit, customer acquisition. So the hardest thing in the solar industry is customer acquisition. Matter of fact, the average customer acquisition price right now in the solar industry is about $2,500 to $3,000. And that is why it's so important that you understand the principles of roof with solar. And now let's think about it. When you are working a bad neighborhood for roofs, let's say maybe a hailstorm hit or it's just an old neighborhood with old roofs, especially if it's a hailstorm, every door you knock is a customer. Every door you knock needs what you have. Compare that to solar. Every person you knock on with solar, maybe half the people that you're going to speak to are 100% emphatically against solar. Maybe another half of those that are interested in solar have one of the 4 reasons that we should disqualify them, and I'll link to that video below so you can see what those 4 reasons are. And then maybe the other half that do qualify and are interested, maybe half of those are renters, and we can only speak to buyers. So it's one of those things that when you're knocking in a neighborhood with solar, you're hoping that you speak to a qualified customer, versus with roofing, every single person there is qualified or has a vested interest to get you to the qualified person if they're a renter and their roof's been damaged. So I cannot stress enough how important it is that customer acquisition is considered and that you pursue the roof with solar as opposed to roofing and solar. Now, if you want to go to the digital space and you start competing in that area, roof leads are about 25% the cost of a solar lead. So again, if you consider roof with solar, and it really comes down to customer acquisition, that's the single biggest reason. And this is why we strongly recommend you approach it with roof with solar. Next, number 2, reps. So in particular, sales reps being distracted. And this goes further than just sales reps. It could be a whole company, but a lot of times just humans in general see the grass is greener, see the shiny object out there. They may see a solar sales commission that someone posted online and think, hey, I'm going to go get a huge solar commission. And they end up focusing all their energy on the solar side and none on the roofing side. And your core business begins to falter. And that's what we don't want whatsoever. We don't want to take that risk of potentially losing some of our roofing business because we're pursuing solar so hard. So if we go with roof with solar instead of roof and solar, the roof always comes first and the solar's attached to the roof. And I'll go in more depth in other videos of how that concept actually manifests itself in your sales process and your presentation and in the culture of the company. All right, let's go to number 3. Next is the cost of commissions plus to consumer. Okay? So if you have a sales rep who is only selling solar, typically they're going to expect a much higher commission, which then trickles down to the consumer and gives the consumer a much worse experience. On the other side of that, if they are selling roof with solar and they're already making commissions on the roof and they're only going to spend an extra hour to make an additional sale with the solar, and that may give that changes their expectation on the commission side. So which then changes that cost to the consumer, which gives you a lot more confidence that the consumer is getting the best possible deal, which also increases your guys' close percentages. Number 4, cost of overhead. All right, and also you're gonna put in the same startup. Both fall in the same category. So if you're gonna have to stand up a whole nother website, a whole nother marketing division, a whole nother support team, a whole other sales team, maybe with a different sales manager, all of that begins to start costing the company more. Maybe you need additional different branding materials. It's all just money out of the door, which also ties right into that customer acquisition. You're taking in all the risk, all of the cost with no additional benefit by doing roof and solar versus roof with solar. Additionally, in the same kind of token, that startup money. And then the final thing, startup time. Or you could think about it, speed to market. Roof with solar, you can start today. You are now a roofing company with solar. If you go roof and solar, you have to stand up an entirely new division. You have to go recruit, you got to go market, you got to go do all of these things. You might be lucky to be selling solar within 6 months. But with the roof with solar approach, you can start selling solar tomorrow. If that's something that interests you, we have an entire coursework on that. I partnered with Adam Bensman, the roof strategist, to create the Roof with Solar Success Formula. And if you're interested in getting a little sample of that, go ahead and text DEMO to 303-222-7133. That's 303-222-7133. Text the word DEMO. I'll drop the number in the comments below, and you can text that if you're interested. Look forward to working with you and sharing more knowledge with you across my channel.